Good afternoon, wonderful YouTube people. It's a lovely a lovely Tuesday afternoon in August. The first little chill of autumn is beginning to come in, you know. Just the smallest amount of thrill at soon to be chill weather is beginning to vibrate in my flesh. And well, that's not particularly relevant to anything. I just thought it might make for a nice introduction. The real topic of this video is sort of with regard to a sort of a response to a recent video made by one Carl Benjamin of the Lotus Eaters. If you haven't heard of Carl Benjamin already, I would recommend him. He's a highly intelligent person, but he's also a very British person, so he doesn't understand certain American phenomena. But it occurs to me that there are certain things which many Americans themselves don't understand, so yeah. Sort of in response to a video he recently made, sort of a, he recently made a video about a black American artist who made a bunch of paintings in the old European sort of Renaissance style. Many of them were reproductions of old Renaissance paintings, except all of the, European people were swapped out for black people. And good old Carl Benjamin said a lot of things that make sense from a European perspective, especially, but what's it like? If you're thinking of white people as Europeans and black people as Africans, the stuff that Carl was saying makes sense. But what Carl sort of fails to understand as to why a black artist would be sort of obsessed, or at the very least concerned, with putting black people in a traditionally white art space, it's because subconsciously, this black artist might not know it, but if he's a black American, if he's African American, if he's the descendant of, slaves who would have been working on the great plantations in the 17 and 1800s, there's not a single African bone in his body, sort of culturally speaking, the Africans brought over into the United States were stripped of all their original culture, unlike the Africans who were brought into the Caribbean and South America. The only real sort of original African culture which survives to the modern day is basically the banjo and the pentatonic music scale, both of which are used more often by white people today than blacks. And, all this to say that, black Americans, such as I forget the name, it was like Hindi Andrews or something, it was the fellow who painted Barack Obama's presidential portrait. Black Americans are culturally, and to a certain degree they are spiritually European, as much as they may talk about their roots, in Africa, and as much as they might try to romanticize their blood ancestors, there is no real spiritual bond there, because there's no real cultural bond there. Their ties back to Africa are almost literally skin deep. They have virtually nothing in common with the people of Africa, either today or 3.5 centuries ago, aside from their skin color. Culturally, the you know, black people living in America. My dog freaked out because he hates modified cars. He hates how loud they are. As I was saying, though, culturally, black people in the United States are absolutely European. And, you know, that's just, I feel that is something which can sort of help explain many of the many of the peculiarities of black culture to Europeans. Well, the peculiarities of black American culture, at least. So, I don't know. I realize that may not be entirely relevant, but I hope it was helpful for somebody who watched this video. See you all later, and I hope you have a very pleasant day.